everybody. Happy holidays. We are excited to get our cooking class back on the road again. Here we are.
It's been a minute.
And we've got a wonderful chef with us today, Jessica Williams.
Hi, everyone.
And she is going to teach us how to make something I didn't even think was possible. And that is cheesecake in the InstantPot. Okay? So if you do follow me, you know I love the InstantPot. I don't know, one of my clients turned me on to it about a year or so ago, and I love the thing. I use mine all the time. I combine it with my Traeger, and we do all kinds of cool...
He owns like 5.
Yeah, I've got 5 InstantPots, so they're always going.
For real.
But I've never made cheesecake. So now how did you stumble on the cheesecake recipe?
So I used to teach cooking classes at Williams-Sonoma,
There you go.
and the InstantPot was one of the main requests for everyone that would come to the class. No one had popped it out of the box, so they were like, I haven't opened it yet. And then they had all these different recipes, and one of the ones that came across as popular was the cheesecake.
Work here. Let's
Okay.
do it, Jessica.
So one of the things I would recommend when you're doing a recipe is use these handy little plastic sheets, because I always spill everything, or
I
it
like
gets
that
stick.
idea.
And I always do both sides, so that way you can just flip it over.
Make sure you read the whole recipe through, and then make sure you have all your ingredients out, because it helps you to get through it so you don't get too flustered. So what we're gonna start today with is the graham cracker crust. As you can see, we have melted butter, we have brown sugar, and you can use light or dark, just depends on how much, I like a little more of a molasses flavor, so I use the dark sugar. And then you can buy either the graham crackers already milled up into a crumble, or you can do it yourself. So 1 pack of graham crackers is about a cup. And I had already did it earlier, so I would just want to show that you can buy both, and it's the same.
You just did it in your food processor?
You just do it in your food processor. You don't even have to break them up. You just put them in there and you turn it on, and it takes like all of 30 seconds to blend up, and then you just measure it out. So right now we have a little bit over 2 cups because we're using an 8-inch springform pan. As you can see, it pops open like this, and we have the bottom and 2, and we have parchment paper, which helps for things to not stick. So we're gonna spray it with a little bit of the baked cling, and you can use Pam if you have Pam. This you can get at like Williams-Sonoma. You can get it at the grocery store. I think AJ's has it too.
Yeah, so
They
we
also
got
have
this pan where? You got it online, or
Oh
how
my
did you
god,
get it?
these pans are all over. Like, they're at Target, they're at Walmart, they're...
The InstantPot pan.
Yeah, the insert.
Yeah, the
so
insert.
the insert's like $10.
Yep.
And they're literally like from Walmart to Williams-Sonoma, so...
Yeah, that you can get
Okay.
at Amazon too. You can get most of the stuff
Awesome.
from Amazon. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit so the bottom will stick. What's great is it shows up so you know where you sprayed. That way that's on the bottom, and then you just click this in and just make sure that it's all clicked in right, because sometimes it'll not be even, so you want to make sure it's even. And then you spray a little bit around with the parchment so it'll stick. And you line the parchment, and what I did is just cut it out
Kind of ahead of time, right?
ahead of time. That way you can do it. And I just use the regular parchment. You can use wax paper too if you don't have parchment paper. And you can get this at Safeway or Fry's or any store that you have. And that way you want it a little bit higher, because when you bake it, when you put it in the pressure cooker, what it does is, because with all the water and the moisture, it rises a little bit higher, and then once it sets down, it'll set back down. So you want it a little bit higher to keep it from going over and collapsing a little bit. And then I always still spray the parchment, just because it just helps with it. When you pull it out, it comes out of your pan really easy. And you don't need a lot, just enough to give it a coating.
What is this again?
This is the brown sugar. It's 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and it's 4 ounces or half a cup of graham cracker crust.
Gotcha.
You just kind of mix it, press it to. You want it to be like wet like this, but not soaking, because then
so it's
the
like
butter.
like a crust.
Yeah, it's like a crust. And you just kind of mix it and make sure everything's all mixed in there. And then you pop it in the bottom here.
That looks good, just like that.
Do you want to jump in and press it in the bottom?
Keep
So
going.
now that that's setting, because it's still a little warm from the butter, so you want it to kind of cool a little bit, because we're gonna move over to the KitchenAid mixer and
here we go.
mix the filling. So the filling is everything needs to be room temperature. So I would definitely set it out at least 2 hours before you start cooking. And we have cream cheese, which is a pound of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of sour cream, Make sure they're the full fat, because if they're not, then it's gonna come out dry. Sometimes it'll come out a little bit crumbly. So make sure you have full fat. So save up your points for eating your cheesecake. And then we have 2 eggs at room temperature. So we're gonna just put everything in the mixer and use a paddle. You can also use a handheld mixer if you want, but you don't want to overbeat it. And at this point, you're gonna add the cream cheese and the sour cream, and then we're gonna whip it together so it's nice and smooth and cream. As you can see, it's like nice and creamy.
Smells good.
And then we're gonna add the sugar, which is 3/4 cup.
And this whole recipe is on our website already, guys. So check it out right there.
And then you want to beat in the sugar, and then we'll add the eggs, the vanilla, and 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon. It's nice and creamy. There's no spot, as you can see, there's no white spots, specks as they call them, running through there. So that's what you want. So we're gonna add our 2 eggs, room temp. Just pop them in there. And vanilla, I think there's like a tablespoon, or you can eye it, depends on you. I always put a little extra in because I like vanilla.
Yeah, 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. We probably put a tablespoon
Or
in
more.
there.
I'm with you.
I
Never
like
gonna have
it,
enough
right? So when you're just doing a pinch, just put in your hand like a little
Oh,
bit
it's
more.
coarse. Is that
It's
okay?
coarse, it's okay. It's gonna bake off. So I like to do this because then you can fill it, and then you're just gonna sprinkle in. And that just gives it a little bit more flavor. There we go. Put that in there, and we're gonna do, this is about 2 teaspoons of lemon. And then we're gonna turn it back on. You start out slow so it doesn't flip out of the KitchenAid mixer. And then you speed it up once it gets in there. See how the color changes a little bit. Turn it down. And then we're gonna scrape the sides. So it's gonna be loose. It's supposed to be loose like this because it'll combine. The egg is a binding agent, so that'll bring everything together once it's in the InstantPot. This is an 8-inch, yeah. And so you just kind of let it in here. Now we're just gonna even it out. There we go. So that's all you do, and then you're gonna have a little rack. So now we go to the InstantPot. You're gonna have a little rack, and that's gonna hold this up above the water because you need to make sure you have enough liquid so that it builds pressure so it can cook. So it has 2 cups of water, and you put it in there, and it's gonna be about level. See, there's a
Maybe
level
a little
with
rack
it.
in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your shake.
Jiggle.
And then we set this in here. Let me, hold on 1 second.
Taste.
So when it's hot and you're trying to pull it out, it's hard to get out. So we're gonna put the handles up.
There you go.
And then, and that's, just make sure it's level like that, and we can stick that in there.
Pretty good?
So we're good to go. So
Okay.
then we're gonna put this.
That was easy.
That was easy. We have that button right that says that was easy.
There you go.
And make sure that the top, so at the top you'll see seal and venting. So you want it to seal.
Yep.
And what that does is it's going to bring this little silver button up, and it takes about 10 to 12 minutes before the timer starts. So this is going to be on high pressure for 28 minutes. High pressure.
That's it. You got
So
it.
there we go. And then you have keep warm. So the keep warm is once it's done, it'll stay warm, and you want the pressure slowly
Because you want a slow release.
Yeah.
A natural
Don't do
release.
the quick release.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to do the quick
So
release.
just keep it on warm.
Keep it on rung. Once you set it, it will give it like 15 seconds and it turns on.
Yeah.
So it'll just stay on until it fills up with the pressure. And then once that's full and this little button comes to the top, the timer will stop.
Right.
Yeah,
And
make
it
sure
does it all
you're
by itself.
sealed.
That's
Yeah,
what's
it
so
does
nice
it
about
also.
this.
Yeah, once you do that, you're good.
Once, yeah, if you just follow the recipe and follow the rules, and just let it do its thing.
Let it, don't touch it. I know.
We're gonna do 2 toppings. We're gonna do a cherry compote, like traditional, you know, New York, and then we're gonna do a caramel.
So I have 2 pots going on here. The back one is we're gonna do a dry caramel. So I just have sugar in there right now. I'm gonna slowly melt that out, and then we're gonna add some butter, and then we're gonna add some heavy cream to finish it off. on the cherry compote. We got frozen because they're already pitted. Saves us time and splattering everywhere because it does everywhere. And this is just some
You
water.
obviously haven't cooked with me before.
It goes everywhere. I always get food on me. I'm like, no, because I used to work in a professional kitchen, so you have your chef coat on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then at home, I'll get home and I'm like, oh my god, what was I doing? So right now I just have some sugar and some water.
So this
Here.
compote you can use for all kinds of things, right?
Yes, you can do it.
Tons
You
of
can
things.
also use it for your cheese, a nice little cheese.
Well, I was even thinking
Yeah.
of maybe a bourbon, old fashioned. I'll just
Yep.
pour a little bourbon in
Put
there.
a little in there. Well, I'm just taking a piece of lemon
Nice.
wedge, and you want to make sure you don't get the white part. See the white part here?
That's all bitter.
That's all bitter. You're right. And then you just do it really light. You need to make
The
sure.
smell is
Can you smell it?
fantastic. Oh my gosh.
It's like nice. So this has like an oil base to it instead of just like lemon juice. So it adds extra flavor. And you just toss it in there. She wants cinnamon in hers, so we're gonna put some cinnamon as well. And you can actually put a cinnamon stick in there instead of ground cinnamon. If you want, you can put anise cloves. So we're just gonna let this simmer down, and then once it gets to where the cherries are like the flavor that you want, all the sugar is melted, there's no crystals in there, we will thicken it up with some cornstarch. And it's just 2 teaspoons to about this equal parts water and cornstarch.
There's a little
and
brandy
then you just
for
make
you.
sure it's liquid. Oh, we can put some brandy in there. Okay, we'll do that at the end. When you're doing the sugar, you can add water, which takes longer, and then you have to be careful for crystallization. So you want to make sure you watch your sugar. And as you can see, it's like slowly melting. So you just kind of let it do its thing. You don't want to be in a hurry when you do it. So it's going to take a minute, but it'll start slowly melting. And then you just kind of push it around. And it'll turn amber really quick because you don't have any water. If you add water, you have to bring it to that temperature and let it slowly go into an amber color, and then you pull it off.
Is the heat good?
Yeah, I might turn it up a little. We have a few wet spots. So now at this point, you're just waiting for all the granulated sugar to go smooth, and then we're gonna add butter. I'm hoping this won't crystallize.
Very nice.
So this color is like an amber color, as you can tell.
Beautiful.
You can do super dark if you want, or you can do even lighter. It's kind of up to you. But as you can see, when the sugar melts, you see that it turns nice, beautiful liquid. And then you're gonna add butter.
Gives it a little sheen.
A little sheen. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
So now we're gonna add some butter, and then we'll do this in just a sec.
Okay. Heat's good.
Yep, heat's good.
Okay.
And be careful because this will pop up because you're melting the butter in.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That's some good footage there.
If only I knew how to turn on smell
I know.
of
I know, right?
It smells so good right
Butter
now.
and caramel. Oh my god, I'm
Those
sorry. That's like the
cherries.
best. Like, and then you have the cherries going, and we're
This
gonna throw
smells
some brandy
off
in
the
there.
chart.
So once this fully melts, because see, you know what the bubbles are? That's the milk solids in the butter.
Gotcha.
So that adds flavor as well. And then like once this all melts out, this point, at this butter like this, you can make it into like a nice little crystals and do different things, but we want nice, soft, creamy. So we're gonna add cream after that. When you add cream, be very, very careful because it'll start bubbling up. So you have to add it slowly and then make sure it doesn't get on you. So you're gonna add the cream now. And you're gonna do it really, oh my god, that smells so good. As you can see, watch, it's gonna start really bubbling. And you just gotta be careful not to dump it all in at the same time. And
Heat's still good? So that stirring is important.
yeah, stirring, you gotta
You don't
keep
go
stirring. No, you
stir
don't
the
walk
cream
away,
and then
don't
go
walk
watch
away.
Instagram for a few minutes. and-
Yeah, so this is like, see how just now it's down and watch, I'll show you. Nice and creamy caramel,
beautiful.
so we can pull this off now.
Okay.
And
Turn
let's
that off?
This, yeah, and then turn this down a little bit.
Oops, I turned all the way. Hold on.
Okay. So as you can see, the cherries are a little bit softer, but they're not broken down. With cornstarch, you can take it and reduce it all the way down into it, which will make a nice thick syrup. But it also makes the flavor really intense. But this is like, you get what the flavor you want, you get all the consistency you want, and then you'll add you'll add a cornstarch, so you don't have to keep cooking it. These drawers are so cool.
So this cornstarch kind of thickens it, right?
Yeah, this is gonna thicken it. And when you use cornstarch, don't just pour it in there. You always have to put liquid with it.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, I always do like equal water to
Yeah, it's
cornstarch.
equal parts water to cornstarch. So at this point, it's all mixed in, but it can still thicken a little bit more. It has to boil a little bit higher. You can smell the brandy in there. It smells really good. It's not super sweet, which I like. But you can also make it sweeter. So if you want to make it sweeter, add a little more sugar. It's up to you. You kind of can play with your flavors with this. That's what's so great about this sauce. You can use raspberries too. You can make it in mixed berries if you want, or strawberries. You can use the same ingredients on the recipe on the website for the compote, and you can change the berries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all done. Isn't that pretty?
Such a nice consistency.
And you can add salt to that to give it a little like salted caramel flavor if you want.
I think I want.
Or we can sprinkle it on top once you put on the cheesecake, which would be good. So you have like a little salty. Okay, so see how this is still kind of syrupy and it's still kind of thick? So it's in between. I call it more of a sauce because once it cools, it will thicken a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't want to do any more like this.
That looks perfect.
So I think it's perfect. See that
Yep.
some cherries are a little broken, some cherries are still in a hole, so you get like
That's
a nice
awesome.
little bite. I can smell that
That's
brandy.
beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's good.
So yeah, we're all good.
Okay.
These sauces are done. Let's grab the. So we made a cheesecake. I made a cheesecake yesterday. So
Okay,
we have
here we
one
go.
already ready for us. Okay.
Okay, so we've got the Instant open. So you did the what, 19 minutes?
I did 12 on
12?
this one.
Okay.
And remember I was telling you guys about the little liquid on the top.
Yeah.
See how it does it a bit. And it's hot, so be careful when you're like getting in
You want
here.
pot holders or?
Oh, there it
There
is.
we go. It's like stuck to the.
There you go, you got it.
There we go. Okay, see how it looks different from the other one? It's still a little wet on there. Then you're gonna take a paper towel and just kind of let it pick up the water. Just like that. You don't want to push it down. You're just kind of letting it get. Soak up the water. It's a little bit more water than I thought, but it's not too bad.
So you can probably bake a lot of things in the Instant Pot, like
Yeah,
using this technology, right?
They have brownies. They can do a really good brownie recipe, a cake, yeah.
That's amazing.
You know what turns out really good is cornbread.
Mm.
You can do. So see how it's still a little wet, guys, and it's a little jiggly. So that's why it needs to just set and kind of get room temperature, and then we put it into the refrigerator, and then
Let it set.
it'll set just like that. So
Yeah.
like how it's still kind of
thing in the fridge.
So
You
how long
put
do
the
you
whole
let it
thing-
set? Like how long in the fridge?
just in the fridge 2 hours is good.
Yeah, okay.
2 to 3 hours. It's just you don't want to put a hot into there because it can split it. Because it's going cold from the out to the in, you want to kind of room temperature first and then put it in.
That makes sense.
And as you can see, we have the parchment paper here. We're gonna pop this open, just like that. And you lift it off and see how the parchment paper, oh, I almost dropped it. It takes
Beautiful.
it right off the cheesecake. Look at the
Beautiful, beautiful.
graham cracker crust.
Mm-hmm.
Cut it, and then whatever
Let's
slice
do it,
you want.
let's do it. Let's try it.
You can cut into it.
Ooh, it's really soft, and then you've got the nice base.
It's like a nice consistency. There might be a little
Yeah,
scooper
there
here.
is.
Oh, I have that.
Do you have it? She's got it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Because there's
perfect.
parchment underneath, that way when you cut it, it won't scratch the pan.
Oh, she got it.
I think
I
that
think I'm
underneath it.
under the pressure.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
Look at that.
Look, isn't that beautiful?
That's perfect. Okay, let's get some goodies on
That's
this.
awesome there. Okay. You want some caramel sauce? There we go. Does it match the picture?
Yes.
It looks exactly the
Does
same,
it?
actually.
That looks so nice. Woo, nice
She's
job.
she's already taking it away. No photos, please. Bye.
That's gone.
But yeah, see how it still stays up and it's like beautiful. You didn't get to see like it's full, it's even. I mean, the InstantPot makes it really easy. It's
That is very
put it
easy.
in and you're done.
That is amazing. Okay, so where do we find you, Jessica? What's your handle on
so
Instagram?
on Instagram, I'm at Chef Jessica Williams. I'm working on my website, so it's not quite
Okay,
there
good.
yet. But any questions, any food questions, let me know. You can reach me at info@chefjessicawilliams.com. Any cooking questions, I will always answer them.
So what do you like to cook? What are some of the things you like to cook? What are some of your favorite dishes?
That's so hard. I have so many. But I would say that my favorite meat is lamb. So anything lamb. I cook all kinds of lambs. I like
You
to
just
do
became
it
my new
from
best friend.
rack lamb to I do a lamb curry.
Oh.
I also do this really good ground lamb tacos is one of my go-to ones, which is a really quick one. My favorite, I make a lot of ice cream because my dad likes my
Have you
ice cream.
seen salmon? Salmon
Yeah,
ice cream?
maybe we'll do that. It might turn out. You never know. And then I just kind of like everything. I like to bake. Like when I'm stressed out, I'll get up in the morning and I want to do bread. So I'll make bread and.
Cooking and baking is so meditative, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
It's just your mind is so focused on it,
Yep.
and you get rewarded with this amazing.
Well,
creation
and
you
my
have.
Jewish child, a little bit of wine, a little bit of
Not bad,
cooking,
is
nice,
it?
relaxed. It's all good.
Well, thank you for joining us. I
Thank
hope you come
you.
back because this was awesome.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I had
We'll
a
do some
really
more.
good
Maybe
time.
we'll do the sauces.
Okay,
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
'Cause everyone needs the basics.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, everybody. Happy
Thank
holidays,
you.
and we'll see you in January with a surprise chef. Get ready.